Hello and welcome to the Hijabi Journalist Show Edition 1. My name is Nima Nzani Kasem. Thank you for joining me. So today in my show I want to talk about criticism. Dealing with criticism positively is a very important life skill. But first, let us define the meaning of criticism. It can be understood as an expression of disapproval. It is not easy to be the object of criticism because it can be hurtful and can lower our self-esteem or our self-confidence. However, not all criticism is being aimed or with an intention of disapproval. Sometimes criticism is made with the sole purpose of creating change or with an intention of making an individual better. See, this is referred to as constructive criticism. Let us examine the difference between constructive criticism and destructive criticism. At some point in your life, you will be criticized, either in your personal life or at work or in your professional life. It will be difficult to accept this, but that all depends on your reaction. You can either use criticism in a positive way to improve, or in a negative way that can lower your self-esteem and cause stress, anger, or even aggression. There are two types of criticism, constructive and destructive. Learning to recognize the difference between the two can help you deal with any sort of criticism that you may receive. See, the difference is in the way in which the comments are being delivered. Although both forms are of challenging your abilities, of challenging your character or your idea, when someone is giving destructive criticism, it is rather meant to put you down. You see, it is often just thoughtlessness from people who can also be deliberately malicious or hurtful. Constructive criticism, on the other hand, is designed to point out your mistakes, but also show you where and how improvements can be made in your life. And it can be viewed as useful feedback that can help you improve yourself rather than put you down. See, when criticism is constructive, it is usually easier for you to accept it. Even if it hurts a little, always try to remember that you can use criticism as your advantage. It can be a step up to making yourself better. So, some individuals are critical by nature, and they have a tendency to criticize anything or any aspect. So when you're dealing with this kind of individual, it is important for you not to take them seriously. You have to understand their nature, and you have to stop taking everything at heart, because once you do, it may create some sense of resentment, and it can even end up destroying the relationship that you both have. See, speaking from my own experience, as I was growing up, I've listened to my mom criticize me on almost everything. If it's not about my hair, it's about how I look or how I talk, how I walk, how I eat. Basically, I think my mom is like the most critical person I have ever met. She used to criticize everything. And you see, when I was young, I used to think that maybe she did not love me, or maybe she had something against me. But as I grew up, I started to understand that that was just her way of trying to make me a better person or help me grow into the woman I've become. And I can say that I'm not perfect, but at least I'm very proud of the person that I'm becoming, and so is she. See, we all make mistakes. I guess it's human nature. So as we go through life, we have an opportunity to learn through our mistakes and improve ourselves. Therefore, no matter what kind of criticism that you may be assigned, whether it is at work or at school, analyze it and use it or learn from it to make yourself a better person. See, when somebody is attacking your character, it is hard to accept because it may hurt your pride, or it may hurt your self-confidence or your self-esteem, but you should not ignore it. Also bear in mind that criticism at that particular moment may not make sense because maybe you're mad or maybe you're in a bad mood, but generally speaking, there's usually some truth in any aspect of criticism. See, it is often the case that on your slight or on your character is a fair reflection of how another person perceives you. So when somebody criticizes you, take a moment and step into their shoes and try to see life from their perspective. Try to look at yourself from their perspective. If you don't even, if you're having doubts, you can even ask from an honest opinion from a friend or from a family member, somebody you actually trust. See, if it's possible to learn a little about how other people perceive you, you may be able to use criticism to improve your interpersonal skills. How you physically react to criticism will depend on the matter of criticism, or where you are, the mood you're in, or even the person is coming from. Always remember not to react with anger, because this may just end up causing a scene or create a bad image of you. See, another important aspect you have to learn as a person is stop listening to criticism from people who have never been in your shoes. Somebody who has never done anything constructive with their lives has absolutely no right to judge you for the decisions that you've made. You're giving it your best shot. You're trying as hard as you can. You got this. You don't need somebody to come into your life and put you down. See, since I started this YouTube channel, I've been receiving a lot of criticism. Some is good and some is bad. See, some people are actually like helping me grow and helping me become a better person, but there are other people who, the kind of criticism or the kind of critics I've been receiving are rather more of asking you to put you down. And the reasons why I decided to talk about this today is because there's so much talk about criticism on the social media, where a lot of people are complaining that people don't have their backs, or people are not supporting them, or people are giving them negative feedback. But one thing that I have learned is that despite how many times people criticize me, it always ends up to give me the motivation to do better, to improve myself. See, at some point it used to make me feel really bad, but then one day I just thought, none of these people have actually been in my shoes. Some of these people are always the first people to tell you, oh, your settings, oh, your dress code, oh, how you speak, have actually never done anything similar to what I've ever done. So what makes them think that what I'm doing is simple, or what I'm doing is not good, or what I'm doing is not good enough? So you see, like, one day I just sat and I told myself, not everyone will understand what I'm doing. Not everyone will think of it as simple, but it doesn't mean that I always have to listen to critics. I understand it may seem like such a simple thing. All you have to do is to sit at the studio, have a script and a dozen of cameras, and boom, there you go, you go to go. But honey, in my culture, we always say, mzigo wa mwenzio kwako ni ukanda usufi, or in other words, adhabu ya kaburi haijuai ni maiti. This simply means that somebody else's burden may seem to be light, but trust me, it's really not that light. So don't let anyone bring you down when they are absolutely clueless on what you do. Just accept the positive criticism, accept the negative criticism, but you should know based on how to handle it. Remember, people who criticize everything or make scathing remarks to be hurtful are the ones who need help, not you. Anyway, this brings us to the end of our topic today, and I hope you enjoyed my show. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave your comments in the YouTube. Leave your comments on the YouTube section. And I quote, learn how to take criticism seriously, not personally. Hillary Clinton. Have an amazing day.